Look how nicely that just fits in. I've just realised on all my cameras, it just fits in nicely. Okay, apart from the left-hand side one. Shall I change it? Don't know why. Oh, I moved the left-hand side one for a different view. Somebody gave me this. Free TV. It's a nice TV. Well, it was nice when it was working, I would have thought. Backlight fault again. It's an LG 39. It's not a smart. It's a 540V. So it's a 39-inch Freeview HD TV. Nice TV. It's got a backlight issue. I hope the screen's okay. It looks okay from this angle. Sometimes you can't tell. And when people give you something, it means obviously they don't want it. And if they don't want it, it means while it's been at their house, they've probably not looked after it. So it could have got kicked over, knocked over, stamped on, trashed on, you know. But I don't think it has. Let's be positive here. So on, have I plugged it in? I have. Maybe it's come on. I didn't see it come on, but it did. Yes. Okay. So let's see if we get the LG flicker. We're on standby and it's coming on now. We don't get the LG flicker. I think I saw the LG logo then. I'm just going to switch it on. We'll do it one more time. Did you see the LG logo? Did you? Oh yeah, it's there. Right, let's get one of these. These LED things are fantastic for this sort of thing. In fact, I've got 2 of them. Let's put one that side. I've actually got 5 of these, I think. I know, ridiculous. One that side and one that side. Just to see if it lights up the LG logo. It probably won't. What am I doing? It's this button. I can't see a blooming thing. Oh, we're on standby. Now let's see if we see the LG logo a bit clearer. No, didn't see it at all then. Bloody stupid idea. I'll just go back to my original idea, which was shining it on there like that. Are you ready? There it is. Okay. Yeah, so free of charge. Somebody said, do you want a TV? I usually say, well, what is it? You've got to be careful because people just want you to take their rubbish to the dump for them. And he said it was an LG 39-inch. Gave me the model number. I instantly knew what it was. He said he thinks it's a backlight issue, which they normally are. And so I said, yes, please. And then, funnily enough, you know how the world is full of coincidences if you go looking for them. Funnily enough, a couple of hours later, somebody said to me, you haven't got a reasonable sized TV that's got satellite built in, have you? And I thought to myself, ooh, yes, I have. Because these have, not FreeSat, but they have all the satellite channels. You scan, you plug your satellite cable into these, and it finds about 400 channels. I'm not joking. But if you do like playing with these things, I'm struggling getting it out. Have I got to magnetize my screwdriver? I only want more. If you like playing with TVs, there's an edit feature in the software of these, and it lets you line up the channels how you want, and it's quite easy to do. Maybe we should do that, because every video has to be different. Any road up. And the other thing I need to know, I was going to edit them, but I'm not now. I need to know what screen's inside this. I'm guessing and hoping it's the LC390 Jew. FGA1? Could that be it? H1? Anyway. To be honest, if I'd have got that absolutely right, I'd have been embarrassed. Because I like TVs, and I like repairing them, and I like playing with them. But I don't want to be that anorak man, do you know what I mean? That boring anorak man who doesn't talk about anything else but TVs down the pub. Now, I won't have a set of backlights for this in. So, that's why I'm finding out what screen is in here. Normally, it's the LC390 DUE, DUE meaning DUE, which obviously stands for something. As far as LG are concerned, I'm not too sure what it does stand for. If you know, leave a comment. Is that it? No. You've left loads in. Still 3 screws yet, you plank. So I'm probably going to get my hot plate out and just get it going that way temporarily until I can get a set. Oh, it's not. It's different. Look. The HC390 DUN. So it's a different screen. Why am I getting excited about it being a different screen? Let me see if there's backlights for this in stock in China. What did I say it was? HC390. HC390 done. DUN. Yes. It's the 6 volters. That's interesting. Okay. I just bought a set. Should I buy 2 sets? Well, I've not had one of these in 4 years, so no. Right, so we've ordered a setup. Oh, good. Well, it's a slightly different screen. That makes it different from the other LGs I've had in this week. I've had a run of LG TVs this week. Not that I'm complaining. Quite like the LG TVs. Very nice very good to work on. Now I could come unstuck here if there's more than a few backlights gone. I don't mind replacing 2 or 3 on a screen individually as I wait for the set to come in to keep the TV going. But sometimes on these 6 volters, as I call them, when they start to go, baby. And I imagine there's going to be what? How many is in the back of this? 18, 20, something like that. So, you know, if we've got 7 or 8 out of the 20, then it's going to be a long, boring job. But it will have to be done. Nice to work on a different screen. And nice when somebody gives you a TV. It was no good to them, they just wanted it out the way. And somebody flagged me up on Facebook, and it was only a few miles away. And I was kind of heading in the direction of the TV anyway. And as if that wasn't kind enough, I couldn't quite find his house. I think he lived up a one-way street. And my sat-nav just wouldn't take me to him. So he said, "Where are you now?" And I said, "I'm parked up outside this supermarket, this shop." And he said, "Oh, that's not far. I'll bring it to you." And it was pouring with rain. Not just drizzling, but it was quite heavy rain. And I looked in my rear view mirror about 10 minutes later and I saw this chap with this TV above his head. And I thought, bless him. He's giving me a free TV. He's carried it in the rain. He's only a young chap. And I thought to myself, should I give him some money? And then I thought, don't be silly. Start the car. Should have given him a tenner, shouldn't I? I feel bad now. You've made me feel bad. You're a bad man. Well, but we don't know that the screen is absolutely 100%. We'll lift it up in a second. That is the time to tell. I'm just taking the screws out of the screen bezel here. Is this bezel all in one? No, it's... This might be the official. Maybe they don't do a 39 Jew screen. Maybe this is the official screen for this set. I kind of class this as the spare screen when they run out of their own. But it's kind of got an LG model number on it, so maybe this is actually the screen. These things keep me awake at night. That and my cats. For those that don't know, I have several cats. Don't ask why. It was an accident that happened. I went from having a perfectly normal 3-cat situation, or 4-cat situation, somebody say 4 would be enough, too many, to 20. We had 3 lots of kittens. I told you not to ask me why, and I'm telling you what happened. 3 lots of kittens. So we had about 22 kittens running around, which was lovely. Loved that. We'd got homes for them. But they weren't very well. And they started passing away, and the vet put a couple down. There was something strange about the vet. But he did say, they're all going to die. They've all got a hole in the heart. And I've since learned that all cats have a hole in the heart when they're born. But he said they will all die. I'll put these down, but just wait for the rest to die. So I thought, right, okay. So we gave everybody the money back. Ouch. That wanted them when they were kittens. Said, sorry, here's your deposits back. You can't have the kittens because they're going to die. And one did that night. The night the vet said, the day the vet said that, one cat just almost died in front of me. It was awful. He just cut myself. The cat, I was playing with him on the bed, and then he just went a bit strange and decided to get off the bed and go and hide under the bed. It's almost like they know. And I thought, oh, you okay, mate? I'll leave you alone for a bit. Came back an hour later, and oops. Very sad. But anyway, so that left us with, I think it was 15 kittens. We'd had several put down from 22, and 2 or 3 that had died naturally. God, that seemed to be the summer of burying kittens in the garden. It was awful. And I remember saying, we can't bury all 16 of these in the garden. We're going to have to come up with a plan. Oh, I really have cut myself. There's blood. And so we just waited for that day to arrive when we were burying them all, and we'd make a decision on what happened. And it was just kind of 6 months that had gone past, and I suddenly thought, these aren't dying. These are fine. They're plump, noisy, smelly little kittens. But it was too late then. They weren't kittenish anymore. You couldn't sell them. They didn't look like kittens. Nobody would want them. They were just starting to look like full-size cats. And I had to make the decision that we're going to keep them. I'm not going to have them put down. Right, okay. Just removing the screen. I do hope this screen is okay. It looks okay from the angles I've seen it at. I'm not doing this properly, am I? Why don't you put it down and do it properly? Right. Oh wow, something is stopping it. From coming up. Is that taped down? Yeah, that is stopping it from coming up. I don't say you've got a bit of tape on there. Yes, they're taped. They've taped the tabs down. Now you've got to be careful with that. Got to be very careful with that. So I am now going to remove this screen with the screen bezel, which is not ideal. But I don't want to force, I don't want to take the tape off the tabs on the side, because it's, you know, it's proper tape. It's not cheap sellotape. And if I damage these tabs on the side, it's end of game. This is going to be one of those sets. I'm going to have to be a bit more forceful than I like to be. I don't like it when it's like this. I don't like it when it's like this. How many times do I have to take these clips off? They just go back into place. Stop clipping back in. You. There was I getting excited about, oh God, all the clips have come back into place. Please tell me that screen is now lifting off. No, the front clips have gone back into place now. All of them. So I've got to put this down to get that clip off and all the rest. will probably go back into place. Right, this is not the ideal way of doing this. No wonder they gave it away free. But I think I've gotten away with it. Calm down. It was just terrible. I had to put it down to release other clips, and then those clips went back. Ah, la-di-da-di-da. You don't care. Nobody cares. Wow, fair few amount of backlights in this. And they were all coming off. So how many was that? Oh, 6, 7, 8, 9. Blimey. 36 for a 39-inch screen. Anyway, how are we going to do this? What we're going to do next? Are we... Well, we better test, I suppose, which ones... How many have gone? I've got a funny feeling... Yeah, there's going to be quite a few gone of these. I know it. Right, I've made it go dark. Oh, I'm going to start another chapter on the video. Right, bottom set. They're all working. Second set up. They're all working. Oh, maybe it's just going to be one or two. Third set up, or second set down, all working. So this, they're all working. Every single backlight is working. But it wasn't working earlier. We know there's not a screen fault because we saw the LG logo. Right. Just give me some light a second. Let me work out. Right, that lights them all. And they're all lit up. So it could be... Let's just see if one is going high. Maybe that's what it is. Let's test the current first. Right, bottom one. 25.5 volts. Next one. 25.4. Fine. Next one. 25.5 volts. This one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. That's your problem there. That's your problem right there, mate. That's what that is. That's 30 volts, that is, you know, mate. That's what that is. You've got 5 volts too much. Which one of these is drawing more than the 6 volts? It should be drawing. Are you ready? Are you ready? I will try and get you a better view. If those two aren't being covered by a board, and they are, that one isn't, but that one is. Whew. Okay. We're doing this the manual way. I should be getting close to 6 volts on each. Oh, should be getting... well, that's 3.1. Maybe they're 3 volts then, are they? Okay, sorry, I thought these were 6. So that's 3.1, which means it's fine. This one. Okay, that's 6 volts so far, so that's not the one. You're not the one. So this should be 18 volts. No, it shouldn't. It should be 9 volts. We're at 8.8. So voltage so far is good. The wires are tripping me up a little bit. Where's my tape? Why can't I put something heavy on there just to... Never got anything heavy enough when you need it. Right, so 369, so that should be 12. 11.5, so yeah, that's okay. And that would have been 15, we're 14.3, so that's fine. So that one is okay. So this one is 369, this should be 12 volts. So it's going to be one of these on here, on this strip. So that should be 12 volts, and it is 12 volts. But it was reading high. And it still is reading high. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So when you test them individually, they read fine. Well, that's a bloomin' mystery. How am I supposed to work out which one it is? If they're all behaving themselves when you do it one at a time. That makes no sense whatsoever. Right, that one's 3, that one's 3, that one's 3. And that one's going to be 3. And that one's 3. I am very confused. One of these LEDs is pulling high current, and I can't. Not that one. Nope, that one's fine. And that one's fine. Yes. So that. is it 22? Sorry, I'm going to have to mutter myself at the moment because I need to think. Twelve, 15. But yet when you connect it to that one, it goes high. I don't understand this. This is not computing. When the strip is linked together, it's pulling an extra 5-6 volts. When you test the strips individually, they are fine. When you test the LEDs individually, they are fine. How am I supposed to know which LED or which strip it is when individually they pull fine? They're going to have to come out, aren't they? Because it's still something wrong with this strip. It's a challenge. It's a Saturday night challenge. Don't worry about the lenses falling off. It's what they do on this model. Every single one of them. Oh, every single one bar one. Okay, well, we've got a bit of a fun issue to deal with, haven't we? Haven't we? Notice I say we. Well, I've got a bit of a teasing troubler. Right. So. Not lighting at all now. I've linked them together. There's no reason why they shouldn't light. Oh, this is fascinating, I tell you, fascinating. Ooh, right. That's reading 14.3, which is about right. Now, they should link over to that side, and they're not. So let me try this side. We did have them all working before by using these test points. So it can only be a connection issue that's just developed. It can't be anything. Okay. Looks like we're going to be here all night, people, because I cannot work this out at all. It's no longer making a connection all the way through. That side is fine. 369, that should be 12. 11.5, and it is. Oh, it's not making a good connection, is it? That's a bit. That's a bit broken. Right, so by separating those we've lost continuity on the positive. But that wasn't the issue we've had before. We've just caused a connection problem. We may have to solder some wires together if I'm still going to use this strip. Negative. Positive. Both the positive and negative are now not making contact. It's that weak little strip there. But I don't think that's my... This is not connected to my original problem. I have now to switch the soldering iron on and just link those together using some little flexi cable. But as I say, this is not our original. This is not my original issue, because I did test it and the continuity was fine before. The continuity has been broken by me tearing it out like a madman. Madman! So we're just going to have to force the continuity back. Using some good old-fashioned 60/40 solder. Now, do I need to scrape, or is that going to go on there without any fuss? It's going on fine. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. I'm still not convinced that I'm going to get this sorted now. Almost burnt myself. Notice how calm and collected I was then. When you've burnt yourself as many times as us guys do, look how all the lenses just pop off these. They're just popping off. This is probably going to be one of those TVs that I don't repair today. It's going to take... I'm going to have to wait for the strip to come in. Right, are we now getting... Yes. What reading am I getting? Oh, and now the reading's gone down to what it should be. 25 point... Oh, well... Yes. 25.4. Could there be a resistance problem if that connection wasn't great? Because it was reading 30 something before, and it's now as it's supposed to be. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? And that's stick the backlights warts and all, back in the set. And see what happens. Put the plug back in, pick up all the loose bits. Right. Let's try and get them back where they were. If that connection wasn't 100%, maybe that was causing a high resistance. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Anything's possible in this electronics game. Right. I think I unplugged the LEDs. We're going to plug the LEDs back in. Turn the TV on. Well, tickle my tits and call me Shirley. It was a connection issue. It wasn't a backlight issue. Well, if it's not a backlight issue, why did you just go and buy some backlights, you twit? It's always nice to have a spare set. So the connection somewhere here it doesn't matter if I tap that and kick it or what I do with it now, but the connection somewhere there not being a great connection caused an issue. And now I've forced the connection by bridging the wires, and the backlights have come on. And they're all working. I've got no backlights out. I've got to glue them back all down now though, haven't I? I've got to glue them all. Well, all the ones I've dislodged. Right, let me turn them off. Okay. Well, that was a different one, wasn't it? It was a different issue. Let me get my glue ready and stick them all back on. Right, all of them glued back on. Well, all the loose ones glued back on. I've got a feeling some more are going to drop off in a second. Let's just switch the TV back on, see if it comes on. Yes. Now I can tell that there's an issue here. There it is, that's back on properly. But that was the only one, I think. All the others are looking fine. The way to tell is to just double check I haven't got any blood on my hands as I'm handling the diffusers. It's going to be hard for you to tell on the screen, but it's going to be easy for me to tell if there's any shadows. No, there's not. No shadows. I'm just going to lift it up and see if any fall off. Under normal duress, well, not normal duress. I mean, nobody goes around shaking the bloody living room TV like this, do they? Right. So that was weird fault, and finding it was weird. The only way I found it was I realised that I'd broken something. I'd broken the continuity. If I hadn't have ripped out the LEDs in the forceful, manly way that I do these things, I can't help it, don't know my own strength, I'm so butch. But if I hadn't have only you can say the words "I'm so butch" and make it sound so camp. Oh yes, and now we've got this. I'd forgotten all about the flipping screen saga. The screen and bezel are as one. But it's only a 39-inch, so it shouldn't really make too much. A bit this way, a bit that way. Not going on well here, is it? Okay, bit over there. Don't like putting the screen back on this way. Do not like putting the screen back on this way. Seem to have a slight issue here. I mean, this can cause issue with the tabs, definitely. Okay. I think I've mastered it. Didn't like that at all. Let's just make sure the screen is back in place. I hope we haven't done any damage to the tabs, but getting that in and out was not the easiest. That was no fun. No fun. Wouldn't like to do that again. Just in case you weren't too sure why I had to do that. If you look at the golden tabs on the side of the screen, they've taped them down as extra security for the screen. There's no need to do it. You've got to be careful with these. These actually go in and run through the screen themselves. So if I mess around with that, it can cause all sorts of issues, which we may notice in a second when I put it back in. We may not get a proper picture. I'm hoping we do. And probably because this was a free set and not a customer's, I probably didn't show it the respect I normally would. I got a bit frustrated with the darn thing, didn't I? So I'm not blaming anybody else but me. I love these TVs, but I don't love this screen. Do not love this screen. Don't love the way they tape it down. I just don't. Let's hope we get... Well, no, let's go for it. Let's plug the Blu-ray player in. Let's plug the main board. Plug it into HDMI 1 on the main board somewhere. Luckily, we've got HDMIs down the side. Is that HDMI 1? Yes. No, that's HDMI 2, I think. I will have to plug back in the IR sensor. Things you do on a Saturday night. Things you do on a Saturday night. Right, let's just go for it. Switch on. Do we get an LG logo? No. Are you telling me the backlights have gone out? Are you telling me the flipping backlights have gone out? Excuse me a second while I'm plugged in and I'm switched on. And the LEDs are back in. They have. The LEDs have stopped working. Oh no. No, no, no. The LEDs are lighting up. That's an issue with the screen. Right, okay. I'm going to have to pause and look into this a second. We could have caused the damage. I could have caused the damage, as I said. I think it was just me being unprofessional, shall we say. The left-hand tab there was not in correctly. The left-hand LVDS cable. I've decided I don't like this screen. For obvious reasons. It took a lot of work getting those in. There's normally not much room to play with. The LVDS is normally just the right length, but there's quite a bit to play on these, and it's giving you an extra bit of torque when putting them in, so it's difficult to get them in exactly right. Plus, this is going to sound like I'm moaning, the socket is slightly bigger than the plug. And when I'd got the right one in okay, but the left-hand one, there's a bit of manoeuvre. So you could have it in level, but you can have it a pin to the side either way. Never known that before. Don't like this screen. So I'm hoping that now I'm going to get the LG logo. Hurrah! 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 There we go. Well, there we go. There you go. Yeah, there you go. I've got a blooming cat trying to get in. Hiya, missed. Up there. Hello. She's a beauty. She always comes in when I'm working on a screen. Are you hungry? Now, I know you're not supposed to have cats in the workplace, but don't forget this workplace is in the bottom of my garden, and she is my cat, and she won't go in the house anymore because she hates all the other cats. Right. So that is done. Bear with, I'm just going to get this lovely cat. You're right, my babe. You okay? Yeah? Or some food? Let me go and get her some food. And yes, you may notice she gets fresh chicken breast. Cooked chicken breast, diced, with the most expensive biscuits you can buy on earth, which are these Dreamies. I have to buy them in the tubs. Well, don't have to buy them in the tubs, but it's cheaper if you buy them in the tubs. So she's having fresh chicken breast and Dreamies, and tonight I've got egg on toast. I think I'll come back as a cat. I have to class this as a very, very lucky repair. The screen was a tad difficult to get out. And then I only found the continuity break by accident because I broke it. Because if you remember when I first did the test, The test worked. They all lit up. I mean, I noticed the current wasn't right. But the only reason I tested that connection was because I had damaged it when taking it out. There's quite a good argument to say that if I hadn't damaged it, I wouldn't have found the problem. Because the problem just was not visible. I mean, I knew that there was a problem in the whole strip. And I'd have to replace the strip, but I haven't got any of those backlights in at all, not even the odd strip. It's a weird screen. And it's either because I don't see these televisions very often, or this screen is just one they use occasionally when they've run out of their own. But this could be their own. So I don't know. On this occasion, I'm quite happy to say that I've busked through this, if that's the correct terminology. So there's quite a chance that the backlights don't need replacing on this at all. Well, they don't. There's no faulty ones. In saying that, one could burn out later on tonight. Unless there is another chance. There's another option, and I don't think. I'm just wondering if it's been repaired before, if it's had a new set of backlights, or if that strip's been replaced or removed, and that's what's caused it to be so fragile. Not that I'm trying to get the blame away from me, because I know darn well that when I ripped the backlight out, I lost connection there. Yeah. But it's always nice to have something a little bit different, and it was a successful outcome, I think. It's not a successful outcome if I've lost a screw. No, okay, it's here. 2 screws. Oh yeah, one there. No, that's not a screw. That ain't a screw. Is that a screw? Okay, yes it is. Do take note, whenever I move the TV, I lift it. Lift and move. Only because I've got carpet underneath here, and the threads of the carpet can wrap around the capacitors or any small device. Right. Plastic front bezel on over the metal front bezel. That's just going to click into place. That's good. At this time I can now put in the IR sensor, clip it in properly. Goodbye. Good job that wasn't plugged in. 500 volts up your left testicle. I don't think she's got any testicles. Right. Right. Speaker is back in. I don't even... Are we recording at the moment? Yes. And the back on. Stick all the screws back in. Not like that, you won't. Aren't cats great? Come in, steal your food. I mean, fresh chicken. It's all gone, look. Look, she's left just a morsel. That was a whole chicken breast. A pouch of Whiskers. Dreamy's cat biscuits. Not even a fucking thank you. Not. And because she doesn't technically live in the house now, I bet you she's going up the road. She's probably thinking, oh, they've got fish up the road. I'll have some fish tonight. Didn't really want chicken. Do you know, I'm starting to worry about myself. I'm 57. I've got cats. And I'm talking to myself. Are you? Yes. You can possibly tell by the way I'm putting this back together that I'm not giving it the love and attention that I normally do. I mean, I should do this as this is a free TV, of which will earn me some beer vouchers, for heaven's sake. It's not very often you get free beer vouchers. Whenever you're watching this, incidentally, today is the day that pubs have reopened in the UK. We're slowly coming out of a lockdown situation, and with social distancing, pubs are back open today, and the local pub had about 20 people outside it today, all bumping into each other and shaking hands, and everyone's hugging and kissing. Hilarious. Of course you can trust the UK. The people of the UK will social distance outside a pub after a few beers. Of course they will. Can't blame them, no? You've been in lockdown for 4 months. Nice to get out and have a beer. But I'm erring on the side of caution as much as I could just go out and have a beer now. And they're open. Yeah, I could sit down and have a beer now and really irritate people. I could just be a nuisance. Just feel like going out now, knocking back 5 pints, sitting in a garden, beer garden, just by myself on my own table so nobody else could sit near me because of social distancing, and singing a load of Susie Quattro songs. Just to be awkward. They'd probably call the police because I was singing Susie Quattro songs. Couldn't care less that I was not social distancing. I've come to the conclusion, this is the last screw I'm putting in, I've just come to the conclusion that this is not the best screwdriver to use for this. I've got to be gentle, because don't forget I have glued those lens back on. Using 10-second glue. How long does 10-second glue take before it sets? A couple of days. These tripods are the most annoying thing in the world ever. Only second to me. Sorry if I've been annoying during the course of this video. I'm not sorry at all. I couldn't care less. I'm 57. I can be as annoying as I bloody well like. Right. Stretching the cable a bit. But does that matter? Have you got the remote? And you'll never guess what's happened. And it does serve me right for being quite hand-fisted on this today. I've got a little shadow here, and I think one of the bulbs has come off. Well, I can't see it now. It looked like it there. Yeah, it looked on a plain image. I think one that I've glued on has come off. So I'll have to take the bits and fix it again, which I will do. It's not an issue. I'm not talking about, if you're looking at that camera angle, you can see that. That's just a reflection of a light that's over there. But I do have a little... moon glow. Oh yes, you can see it there. If you look about there, there's a moon glow. So one of those. Normally when I glue them back together, I do leave them a good couple of hours. Oh no, I've got to take the screen out again. Oh, that was a nightmare. I'm not doing it tonight. It's Saturday night. It's Saturday night, and I'm not doing it tomorrow because it's Sunday tomorrow. I may be able just to lift the screen enough to glue that back on. Do you know what I mean? Without taking the whole thing out. It's not going to be noticeable on this sort of film. Let's just see the setting of the backlights while we're here. There you can see it. You can really see the glow. Look at the glow. The backlights have been set pretty good. It's on Eco, backlight stand down 65. That's a good setting. I would up the sharpness a bit, for me personally, since it's a HD TV. The tint and colour temperature are... Oh no, look at the colour temperature. Why have we got the colour temperature on cold? I lost it. You lost it. Let's bring it back down. So that would have given the picture of quite a blue tint. Now whether that's been set up from the factory or whether the person that owned this TV before did it, I don't know. Well, it was an interesting job today. It was a little bit different. Finding the fault. Again, quite lucky really. But I'm going to have to do 25% of it all over again. I'm going to have to strip it down, get into the screen. I may not have to remove the screen completely just to glue that lens back on properly. As you can see, just up there, it's not brilliant, but I will get that sorted. I'm not going to do that tonight because I fancy a coffee and I fancy a biscuit and a hot bath. But it's all up and running, and it's working, and it's a nice TV. I saved it. It wasn't being thrown away. This was going to the dump. I saved it. Well done, you. Thank you.